What's up, guys? All right, so today we are going to be talking about how to place higher in Operation Solar Raid. So we're going to be talking all about how Rank 2.0 works. From what we know so far from the test server, we're going to be talking about how to solo queue, how to find a stack, and basically how to maximize your chances of placing and ranking up higher in Operation Solar Raid. So Rank 2.0, obviously, you're not going to place high. I mean, you're going to start at Copper 5, but we are going to talk about how to rise through the ranks quickly and without too much struggle. So let's get to it. All right, let's start with how Rank 2.0 works. So Rank 2.0, basically you win and lose, you go up and down elo, so your MMR is determined by, if you're winning or not. But there is a hidden MMR attached to your account that basically tells you what elo you should be playing against, like what type of opponents you should be playing against. So let's say I'm a silver currently, and I am skill wise I'm more of like a plat. I'll probably be playing the plats that are currently in silver, if that makes sense. So your actual rank that is shown is currently, in my eyes, more like a battle pass in Rank 2.0 than it is like your actual rank. Your hidden MMR is the one that actually matters, and that's the one you cannot see. So you are allowed to play with anybody. There is no MMR restrictions from playing with anyone that you want, any of your friends, but it will take the highest MMR player among the friends, and you would be playing against all those guys. So let's say I'm a champion hidden MMR player playing with a bunch of gold MMR players. We are going to play against all champion MMR players. So it is still rough to play with friends, and that's kind of how it has to be. I mean, honestly, I'm fine with how it was with the 1000 MMR restriction. I feel like that was fine, but now it's a little bit more harsh for the higher elo players. If you do pick up someone that is a little bit lower, it will be very, very hard for people to boost. So with everybody being reset down to Copper 5, and obviously none of us have a hidden MMR yet, you will be playing against a wide spectrum of players on release of Operation Solar Raid. So if you are a silver, bronze, gold level player, you may end up fighting against the occasional champion in that elo. Granted, there are more silvers and golds, so the more than likely you'll be fighting people around that rank, but you can go against champions. If you want to avoid this, I definitely suggest waiting a couple days on release to play. But if you don't care, I mean, it'll probably only be a couple games or so here and there out of, like, let's say like out of 10 games, you'll probably maybe like play plat plus players like 2 out of the 10 games. So it won't be overly bad, but it can be annoying. If you just want to play ranked the first day, I mean, that's fine. That's what everybody does. So when you do go against higher MMR players, don't stress over it. Realize that they are going to be ranked up, and make sure to win the next one. Don't get demoralized off of 1L. Remember, you have to keep your mental up to win more matches. Vibes win games. If you guys keep your mental up, I guarantee you will win more matches than if you're being a negative Nancy and just being toxic. So make sure to stay positive as much as you possibly can. I mean, within reason. Don't just fake be happy. I mean, try to be positive. Don't be negative, and you will win more games. Now let's talk if you are a solo queue player. So how do you rank up if you're a solo queue? It is hard to rank up a solo queue. Obviously, your skill is never going to be matched to your rank, because it is up to who is on your team, because you are one of 5 people on your team. You can only do so much. But if you want to rank up as high as you possibly can while you are solo, make sure you're doing the following. Make sure you are picking operators that actually have a general purpose to winning said round. Let's say we're playing Clubhouse and nobody has a hard breacher. If I don't bring a hard breacher, I cannot be surprised that we lost that round. I don't expect you to have to be hard breach every single round, but like if you don't have a comms and you don't see anyone on hard breach, and if you don't bring that hard breach, you will more than likely lose that round. Realize what you need on how you're going to push and pick your op accordingly. Like if I have a bunch of supports, like if I have an Osa, Thermite, Ace, etc., I know I need to pick more of an entry focused operator, because I know our entry game is going to be fairly weaker. So pick around your team and play to your best ability, and you will rank up a little bit easier just on that. Step number 2, make sure to use your mic more than everybody else in the lobby. Communicate on where you're going to push from, what your plan of attack is going to be, and what if you need help from a teammate, what you need help on. Try to join people in. Try to be that good teammate that you would want on your team, because I guarantee you, if you start doing that, other people will start doing it in the game too, because they realize their teammate is trying and playing well, and they will want to help you win. So be a good teammate, and I guarantee you people will chime in and help out. Granted, there is going to be toxic people here and there. I mean, this is just going to happen. Like I said, try to keep your vibe up. If they are toxic, just mute them and just keep talking like they don't exist. Because if you just go back and forth with them, it's going to result in TKs, the rest of your team not trying, and you're just going to get 0-4'd and you're going to lose and be upset that you get bad teammates and your RNG. Like, you know, focus on what you can do, and you got to play the cards you're dealt. It's poker. You are dealt a hand, whether it's a good hand or bad hand or whatever. That is your hand to play with for the rest of the match. Play the hand to the best of your ability, and I guarantee you will win more. Remember, they don't have to be your friends, but you just have to get along with them until the end of the game. Step number 3 on how to win more as well, solo queue. Start adding people in solo queue. I know this is like not really solo queue tips, but how to find a 5-stack. Start adding people, especially when you have good games. Go throughout the lobby and add people that on your team or the enemy team that you would want to play with again. Start doing that, and I guarantee you'll start to get a Rolodex of players in your friends list. They don't have to be your friends to be in your friends list. That's just people that you want to play with as a 5-stack. You start doing this, and I guarantee you will start to have 5 stacks within a couple weeks to maybe a month. I guarantee you'll start to get at least a duo. You get at least one other person to play with. You can have it back and forth, like in Discord or in the game. Your comms are flowing and other people will join in. I guarantee you will end up getting a 5-stack if you start adding people. You gotta take that first step. Nobody else is gonna take that first step. If you want to play and win more, this is how you have to go about it. Yes, it is annoying to have to get a stack. It is the hardest thing to do in Siege, but solo queue, you are limited very greatly on some of the games you can win, because it's RNG on who you get on your team. Sometimes you just won't have a good team. Like I said, you got to play the cards you're dealt. If you don't have a good team, you are going to have to play amazing to secure that win. The biggest thing about Rank 2.0 coming out this season, it is kind of a beta. It is a new ranked system, so don't be too upset if you were, let's say you were a plat 1 last season and now you are a silver or a bronze, etc. We are all starting at copper. It is going to take a while to get to the rank that you feel like you do deserve. We don't know how it's going to work, because right now in the test server, let's say I win a game in the test server, I go up 80 elo. When I lose, I go down like 6 to 8. That is too forgiving of a system. I almost 100% guarantee that is not going to be the system on release, because that is a way too forgiving of a system that everybody's just going to be way too high of a rank, because you're expected to basically, even if I lose 8 games in a row, as long as I win 1, I am ranking up. That does not make sense to me. I mean, that basically flipped how the old rank system on how it was on its head. Let's say I had 5 champions together and I played against a bunch of diamonds and we lost. I lose 150 elo. If I beat them, I win 25. So you can see how this is a little bit flopped on its head. I mean, maybe it's the MMR is different if you're solo versus a stack. We're not too sure, but right now I definitely see that changing. Like I said, don't worry about your rank. Just keep your mental up and you will win more. Make sure you're really paying attention to what your team is doing, what you're doing, and always put in maximum effort. If you want to rank up, even if you lose a game, like really take it with a cup half full. Like, even if you lost, what did you learn from that game? What did you do right? What did you do wrong? Really take away from that, and I guarantee you'll win the next one, and then maybe the next one. Even if you don't, I guarantee you that will make you a better player, and you being a better player is going to make you rank up a little bit easier. And just another point I really want to drive home is be nice to each other in the solo queue trenches. I mean, yes, people are going to be toxic to you, but try to get along with them, or at least don't throw too many stones at them, because let's say they get in your team again, they might throw, or they might throw the game that you're currently in. Just try to keep to yourself. If they're toxic, mute them. Do it in a productive way. I mean, there's a reputation system coming out where you can like punish negative players, so keep that in mind. Don't throw the game just because one guy is mad at you. Try to play around them and pretend that guy is just an AI hunt bot walking around. Another big thing I really want to talk about is if you have friends that are a little underskilled from, you know, what you think that you should be or where you should be at. Honestly, if they're fun to play with, I definitely suggest still playing with them and helping them improve, because if you have good vibes and just a good repertoire with players and other people, you will play better, you will perform better. And if they're lower ranked, I mean, you should be fragging out and going nuts. If you're not, then you still have things to learn. Like, let's say I'm a champion level player, which I am, and I'm playing with my friends that are like gold at the start of the season, and I can't rank up. I'm in gold with my friends. Well, then I should be dropping 10 plus kills every single game at that elo, because I am a champion level player, regardless of whether it is my rank or not. Remember, your rank doesn't make you good. You're good, therefore your rank is high. And the biggest takeaway point I want to talk about today is when you are playing, especially if you're solo, in placements, play impactfully. Do not just bait for a kill death that does not matter. If you do not win that round and you are farming kills and the rest of your team is dead, that is a waste of your time and a waste of your energy. Your teammates are going to watch you, they're going to call you a baiter, and they're not going to try as hard. I guarantee you, if you look for the more impactful plays, what I mean by impactful plays is look for an opportunity to take a site, take a map, this map control, try to see if you can get a plant down, doing something positive as an attacker versus just sitting outside holding an angle on a window for 2.5 minutes. Even if I kill 2 people, if the rest of my team's pushing around trying to be impactful and they die and I'm not really helping them, like, I'll come to you, and I get 2 kills because they already killed people and they're just rotating around being aggressive because the defenders will, or attackers, the other team is going to throw when they have man count. That's just how ranked is. The other team is going to throw when they have man count. And if you're just farming those kills because your team is dying, I mean, do not blame your team. They are trying to win. You are doing absolutely nothing. Do not bait for a kill death. Be impactful and get kills on site that help you win the round and get your kill death up that way. I would rather play with a 1.0 KD player who I know plays impactfully than playing with a 2.1 KD player that I know is just baiting and just farming kill death. When I'm playing as a defender, I'm going to be not necessarily the anchor on site, but I am going to be very somewhat close to site, especially when I'm by myself, because I do not want the attackers to run up to site, especially if I'm not there or if no one's communicating. I want to be able to at least have control and eyes in the site so I can communicate to my team if the site's in trouble or whatever I gotta do. I don't have to necessarily be on site, but as long as I'm like a room or 2 away from site and I have eyes back that I can easily get back, that's fine. Don't be the hard roamer, the hero roamer that's down 3 floors away across the map and just kind of crouch walking around. If they take sight, you cannot complain because you are way too far away from the actual push. Because a lot of times your team is not going to tell you where the main push is coming from unless you ask. All right, guys, that is it for my tips and tricks on how to rank up and place better in Operation Solar Raid. So in summary, do not be toxic. If you have to mute someone, mute them. Also, make sure to use your comms actively, and even if nobody else is, be the first person to talk. Make sure you're picking operators around your teammates. Pick what you guys need. Be flexible. If you're attacking, be impactful. Do not just bait. If you're defending, make sure you are playing somewhat near the site so you have a general idea of what's happening, especially if you're solo. And if you don't want to stay solo, start throwing some friend requests out, because I guarantee you almost everybody watching this video hates being solo as well. All right, guys, make sure to comment, subscribe, and leave a like for more. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Good luck.